Hey everybody, Uncle Buck here. Hey, thanks for tuning in. So, wanted to go over something. I've been seeing a lot of wild stuff on social media lately as far as floor installs go. People bragging about this or that. So I wanted to go over what I consider to be the 5 steps to a successful flooring install. Between installing myself, apprenticing, and being a flooring operations manager for about 3 years, I have seen thousands of floors go in, if not myself, by other installers. So, and this is the stuff I learned. Step 1. Always read the instructions. That's going to tell you everything you need to know. It's going to tell you your expansion gap or the spacing around the edges between the flooring and the wall or the sill. It's going to tell you the percentages that need to be in the house, meaning relative humidity, the moisture percentage in the subfloor. There's a couple cheap tools you can use for that. I'll show you pictures in a sec. If you don't follow those, the expansion gap and humidity percentages, the floor has to go somewhere when we're talking about floating floors. So typically it's going to go out till it's going to hit something, then it has to go somewhere. Almost every time it's going to go up. So you're either going to have bowing, where you see the floor rising up, or it'll put enough pressure on it where it damages the locking system and then the top actually delams. So those are super important. So So on to step 2, prep the subfloor after you've read it. No matter how good the builder is, if you aren't sanding something, you're probably doing something wrong. So again, read the instructions, but typically 3/16 inch difference in a 10-foot run is normally the industry standard. Again, read the instructions, might be stricter, might be more lax. You gotta look at the instructions. Also, along with that, when you start working on step 3, which is always undercut your door casings or any other jams you run into. I've seen some pretty funny stuff lately, walking some houses, the homeowner's concerned, they jigsaw or do whatever around the door casings because they're not sure what to do. It looks horrible, to the point where it's almost funny. So you don't need a $300 or $400 crane undercut saw. Most of the time I just use one of these. Just get you a quality oscillator with a sharp blade, worth every penny. They're about $100. So next will be layout. So what you don't want is to get across the room, especially a main room, living room, dining room, and you have this little sliver up against the wall. So open a few boxes, lay it out, do a mock-up and say, okay, I gotta start with a board that's got 2 inches ripped off so it looks good over here. It's always gonna bug you, and or if it's not for you, a customer is gonna complain. It just looks terrible and unprofessional. So plan your layout. That being said, if you do have to run through a bunch of rooms, a pantry, a bathroom, and then you hit another office, there are times where you're hitting so many walls, you can't help but have a little sliver. But what I'm saying is mitigate that and control it so it's a sliver on a wall that is not super apparent. So lastly, and this is the one I was talking about, the social media stuff I've seen, there's this trend on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube too, where these guys bragging about how good their floor looks. Never, ever, ever caulk the bottom of your baseboard where it meets your floating floor. The reason being is it completely negates the whole purpose for your expansion gap, which is the floor needs to move seasonally. That is an easy out for an independent inspector or the flooring rep to come in and say, hey, this floor can't operate the way the engineers designed it. It's not our problem, it's on you. Unfortunately, you're fronting the bill. So, and then the last thing I'll say, as far as the steps go, just remember a sharp saw is a safe saw. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.